What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 63 of Park to Prem here with Nottingham Forest. Today we've got a live com doubleheader coming your way, and while there's been lots of stuff going on since you were last here, we are going to attempt to cover it all. Whether or not I succeed in that, I suppose, remains to be seen. Today we've got two games. We've got a match in the Premier League against Manchester City at home, and following it on from that, we've got a game in the Champions League. Our second of the group stage, we're going to be taking on Bayern Munich. Anyway, of course, since we're last here, the transfer window has slammed shut, and did I do some last-minute business? Of course I did, and actually, I went for a man who we looked at just last episode. That's right, Gael de Volder has joined us, the Belgian international, 22 years old. I said about how I almost signed him just yesterday. Well, I've gone and signed him for a little bit more than I would have liked to, but I felt like it was worth it. £105 million paid for this guy. He can slot in and be a phenomenal centre-back, but for us, he's going to play the defensive mid position, and whilst he's not really a ball-winning midfielder, we've tweaked things in a way that I think allows him to shine. He drops in as a deep line playmaker on support. Lind, therefore, becomes a roaming playmaker. Whilst we've played him at deep line playmaker throughout the years, make absolutely no mistake, Lind, he can roam. He can be a roaming playmaker and then some. He's got really good physicals, really good mentals. So far, he's done a pretty good job this season playing his new role, and this was a deal that happened not long after I left you. There were a couple of other players who signed for us, so we'll talk about them too. Gaston Gallardo has joined us as some much needed depth out in the wide areas. Discussed it last episode, but I wanted to get a new player who could just be an impact sub, a bit of a squad player, covered off a few positions. Gallardo signed for £8 million from Racing. He might not have the most incredible potential in the world, but I feel like for the price that we've paid, we've got a little bit of a bargain at 20 years old. Elsewhere, we signed Blair Grant, who is just a signing for the future, 17 years old. We've loaned him back to Boston, our former club, whom I didn't mention it last episode or last season. They got relegated from League One last year, and they are struggling right now in League Two, despite being predicted to win the league. Yeah, I don't know how to... I feel a bit bad. The Boston dream, it might be dying slowly. Maybe Grant can save the day for them. Elsewhere, two other additions that joined us. The first is Torres, a youngster who we signed from Atleti for his release clause of £2.7 million. Loads of potential, and he looks really, really good with a professional personality, really good mentals for his age, and also some exceptional physicals. And well, last but not least, another fullback, this one of the left-back variety. Lucas has joined us for £6 million from Botafogo. Bit of a player for the future. At 18, he could turn out to be a really, really good player for us. Anyway, on the ouch, you might have caught it, you might not have done, but this number has risen since you were last here because we have sold on some players. 2, to be precise. No, 3? No, Hootenham had gone. Hootenham was gone. Tell you who hadn't gone before yesterday. Owen Ricketts. Sold him on deadline day. To Barcelona. I know, £50 million, a little bit of profit. He's always been a player who's performed for us, but unfortunately, as you'll know, he had that really major injury in the Europa League just a couple of seasons ago. It set him back massively. He's slowly been dropping out of the first team contention at 28 years old. He's not getting any younger. £50 million felt like some good money to receive. And the other big sale of note was Toninho, who you may remember we signed just last January on a free transfer. Bit of a punt. His contract was expiring at Vasco in Brazil. Ultimately, we've wound up selling him on to Barcelona for £21 million. It's not a huge amount of money, but he wasn't ever really going to play for us. And those were, well, some sales that allowed me to, delve into the transfer market a little bit without completely ruining us financially. Because after the new stadium came in and stuff, we've been a little short on cash, dare I say. We're now in an okay spot. I expect us to lose money through the season, but we will make up for it with TV money and prize money come the end of the year. Anyway, since you were last here, we've played a whole host of games. We're going to go through these quick because, of course, we've got 2 matches today. But firstly, I need to acknowledge the Community Shield. Forgot to mention it in the last episode. It's maybe that gives you an indication of how much I rate the Community Shield at this point. We won it 1-0. Gonzalez with a nice finish. It was Danny Dyer's official debut, not in the Premier League, but in the Community Shield for us. He got a clean sheet there. Of course, we took on Chelsea last episode and beat them 2-1. And well, since then, it's been a relatively good start to the season. Lots of rotation, maybe a little bit of a lack of clean sheets for my liking. We got wins against Watford, Southampton, and then against West Ham to get off to a really good start to the season. 4 wins in a row in August. The West Ham one, the most narrow of those wins. In this game, Poyana, I'm going to give him the credit for the first goal here. It's officially going down as an own goal, but without Poyana, it doesn't happen. He's kind of somehow got it in at the near post, managed to just squeeze it in there. They did get a goal back from a free kick just after half-time, but in the last kick of the game, Blas Gonzalez to the rescue, a player who I don't feel like gets enough love. I feel like people forget just how good Gonzalez is. So allow me to refamiliarise you even. 25 years old, consistent performer. I mean, look at him. Look at him as an advanced forward, not as an advanced playmaker. He is top draw. He is phenomenal. He's a player who, of course, we've been relying on goals on for the last couple of years. So far, 3 goals in 4 Premier League games for him. One of those games that he didn't score in. Actually, no, he did score in it. What a terrible segment. He scored against Liverpool. We beat them 4-0. This was a good little result. You can see here the overall stats in the game. We dominated them. We bullied them. And Van Dijk had a very good game. We've been wrestling with injuries. And, well, you may notice Erk didn't start this game. And, well, Dyer was in goal for it, but he wasn't in goal for a few of the games before this. He got a double hernia and was out for a month. He is injury prone. I know that he's injury prone, even if our coaches have forgotten what our scouts passed on to them. A little bit of a concern. Keep an eye on it. Elsewhere, Erk injured, Sampaio and also Luis Navio have also been injured since you were last here. So we have been juggling things around a little bit. And in fact, Navio still injured today. He got injured in this game against Liverpool. Anyway, following on from this game against the red side of Merseyside, we took on Basel, 6-1 win. Ionu got a hat-trick in this one. He's pretty blooming good. And, well, he got a lot of goals in another game as well, which we'll come on to shortly, but not before we acknowledge this. 2-1 defeat against Aston Villa. This, my 700th game in management. Yeah, not one to remember. Not gonna look back on this one oh so fondly. We got completely, I don't want to say FM'd, but we got a good early goal. It was a nice goal for Poyana. They then scored from a corner. Then they scored from a penalty. I feel like we got very unlucky. Didn't reflect the game. We were the better side. I'm not going to go as far as to say we were robbed. Villa, to be fair to them, did create a fair few chances, just like we did against Swansea, as we beat them 8-1 in the EFL Cup. Ionu, he scored 4 in this game. Yeah, this man has no mercy. This man, he does not give a Scooby-Doo. He went to his former club, scored a load of goals against them, celebrated in front of the fans, and, well, I kind of love him for it. If we just compare Ionu with Gonzalez here, you can see they are not a million miles away from one another, to the point where you can maybe make an argument that Tassos is the better player. Ultimately, though, it's great to have 2 striking options as good as these two, isn't it? And they have both been in good goal-scoring form. We're going to need them both to be in good goal-scoring form today, because, of course, we've got 2 tricky matches, the first of which is against Man City. If we just look at the Premier League right now, we are currently in second. Tottenham, unbeaten after 6. We're going to look to, well, set the record straight there. Elsewhere, Villa, who we lost to, are currently up in 3rd. And, well, for Man City, they've had a very, very bad start to the season. They sacked their manager. They got rid of Pep Guardiola in the summer. They've brought in Thierry Henry. He's not had a great time to his start at Man City. And, well, speaking of moves in Manchester, this is one that I think, the comment section might have a riot about. You guys might not appreciate this one little bit. Stevie Secker has signed for Manchester United. I know, I can't believe he's done it either. Traitor. Used to look back on this man fondly. It's mad to me that Steve Secker, who's only 25 years old, but yeah, I do feel like, I don't know, one of my owners turned against me here. If he scores against us for Man United, I am going to be livid. So yeah, not overly happy about this. It feels like a little bit of a betrayal. Anyway, we don't need to worry about this right now. He can't hurt us today. Hopefully, he won't hurt us ever as we go into this game against Man City. Worth noting, obviously, the new roles in full play. Devolder, this is your live commentary debut. I've spent £105 million on you. I think you're a top quality, world-class centre defensive mid. Kind of just need you to show that for me today, if you don't mind, mate. You can see here, Luis Navio's out. So Matty going to slot in at left wing-back. At centre-back, we're still going with Piccione alongside Piotr. I feel like they're hitting it off, the 2 players. 2 players who love big matches. They're both super consistent. just pillars of our team. And whilst I could perhaps find players who have attributes better, in terms of finding two players who have such great influence over the dressing room, have such great hidden attributes, I don't think I'm going to get too much closer. Also, Sampaio listed as an elite centre-back, which I don't know how to feel about it because he's never really played centre-back for us. Obviously, as a wing-back, he's not quite as good, but I feel like he's improved a lot since we last looked at him. I feel like I should acknowledge it more. His physicals are absolutely insane, and to be fair, he's had a number of really, really good years where I feel like I've not really truly appreciated him. So Sampaio, I appreciate you, as do I Poyana, who of course we've been playing in the new winger on attack role in the team where we've changed things up a little bit. He's had a good start to the year. The first time ever, I feel like I can look at the right midfielder in this system and go, you've actually contributed. You've got a good, nice 7-point-something rating next to you. And, well, give them a pat on the back for it. Anyway, hopefully it's going to be a top-quality performance from our team today. Man City at home. This is the kind of game that I think we should be winning. Man City, going into this season, were the favourites to win the league. It would be fair to say their league campaign has not quite gone to plan. Hopefully, we're going to pile on a little bit of misery here in this match. And of course, Bayern Munich, the other game we have today, you may remember that Bayern Munich are a team that we've butted heads with a couple of times, and they are the best team in our group. If we could get a win against them, I would start to feel very confident about making it to the knockouts and just going into cruise control. Wouldn't that be nice? And of course, they've got Boyer playing for them, our former man. Not sure how to feel about that one little bit. Anyway, Man City attempting to play it out from the back here. We're going to try and make things a little bit difficult for them, but Arrowsmith with possession here, dinks it wide. Erk coming back from injury, may not last the whole game today, but right now he's on the pitch. He's making his magic happen, and well, he's fallen over. It's bounced to Gonzalez. What is happening? I would have been a bit upset if we'd scored that, because we scored pretty goals here. That goal would have been very, very ugly. Would have given it a 1 out of 10. Bit of ping-pong in the box, kind of just fell the way of Gonzalez. If he'd scored that effort, I would have felt a little fortuitous. Anyway, 32 minutes gone. Why is nothing happening? We are in complete control. We are dominating. Will Danny Dyer get his first clean sheet of a live commentary today? That's the question. Ball dinked over to Erk. Can he cut in on his right foot? He goes down. Pizzella, I mean, it looked like a foul, but we've seen stuff that doesn't look like a foul be given. So knowing my luck, this just won't be given. Erk's gone down like a sack of potatoes or bricks. Probably, I think bricks is the official metaphor that you're meant to use there. Or simile. Like a, simile, similar. This has turned into an English lesson. It has been given. Okay, breathe a sigh of relief, everyone. Although remember the fact, we can't score penalties. Why have I not taken Largo off penalties? Oh, that's right. He's our best taker, even if he never scores them. Please score this one today, Largo. Thank you. Oh, I need to take a breath, Jack. High stress moments, I feel like, when we get penalties at the moment. I feel like we've got just such a wretched record from them, so I'm mighty relieved to see that one go in. It was actually a pretty good penalty for Largo. I'll give you credit for that, son. That one was good, and if that is to be the only goal of the half, I would be fine with it. Although, highlight with 90 seconds left. Dare we dream. Lind with the ball, of course. A bit more freedom to get forward with the role change in the midfield. Also, De Volder playing as a deep line playmaker in support. He's happy to drop in deep. He's happy to also move with the ball as well. He's a very, very good player in that regard. And while we're knocking the ball around nicely here, really penning Man City inside their own half, Piotr looks at Sampaio on the overlap. Options in the middle. Can he pick one of them out? Goes to Largo. Lind now with it. He can shoot these. I thought that was in. Is it bad that I thought that was in? I was convinced he was going to curve that into the top corner. Unfortunately, it's gone just wide. But I'll tell you what, looking at this XG graph, for what it's worth, gives me a little bit of a warm, fuzzy feeling inside. Boys, I'm delighted. Don't let me down in the second half. Don't be one of these games, Football Manager. We've dominated. We've looked very, very good. Don't take it all away from me. Tell you what, I'm going to make a change here. I'm going to bring Ionu on for Gonzalez in the striker position. And I'm going to bring in Tudor. I'm going to bring him in for Largo, who is just struggling slightly. I know he scored the penalty. You know, very good. You scored one. Not going to risk him. Want to make sure he's fit and raring to go for the game against Bayern in just a matter of days' time. As much as I want to rotate the teams around and play a weaker team in Europe, that is one game where we certainly can't afford to do it. That goal would not have counted if it had gone in. De Volder was offside. It was a bit of a weird one, wasn't it? The long throw. The ever-elusive long throw, it feels like, since the most recent Football Manager update. Fortunately, couldn't find the back of the net. Anyway, ball cleared away from us here. I mean, it's only 1-0. With 3 minutes left, this has the makings of a heartbreaker. The kind of game that you play in Football Manager and then decide, you know what, I'm going to bed. I've had enough. I mean, imagine if they scored with their first shot on target. I don't want to imagine it. I don't want to imagine it. Burns with the ball here to Arrowsmith. Big tackle. Could we launch a counter-attack? Man City throwing men forward here. Bozzella, who gave away the penalty, gives it in. Cherky's there. Oh my God, Dyer. I spent £155 million on you. It would have been offside, but that save doesn't fill you with confidence, does it? He's not had a great deal to do. 45 seconds left. One more highlight. I've rolled my eyes at Football Manager as I realise this is probably a highlight for them. Tarasov, Matty, big header, straight to Melendez, a player who I was looking to sign. Last episode I talked about possibly signing a wide player. There really wasn't an option out there. I actually bid 120 million for Melendez. They said no, so it's not happening. I'm still trying to unsettle him, even though I don't have the money because I'm just a bad person. Yono has put his head in there. There is still a highlight going on here. Tudor. Don't know if he's yet scored for us. He plays it inside. What is happening? It's in the back of the net. The flag has not been raised by the assistant, but I can tell by the camera movements. VAR's going to have a word here. VAR's going to ruin our goal. Not a pretty goal. Would have given that a 1 out of 10 on the goal prettiness scale. Payana, he doesn't care about pretty goals. He just wants to score one. I imagine that was the last action of this game. Man City making some late subs. Surely they're not going to have an impact. We've played 50 seconds extra, and that was the last chance of the game. What happened here? It was cleared against Tudor. It just bounced off Tudor's back. Landed to Payana. A good win for us. Just to have a quick look at the guy. Why are the subs not showing up for Man City? Man City, did you made some subs? I saw you make the subs. We'll go forward. I was going to say I'll show you the guy that I was looking to sign from Man City, the winger. Obviously, I've not ended up signing a winger, and I don't really feel like we necessarily need one. But I am still just bidding on him because I'm a bad person. Mikel Melendez. He looks pretty blooming good, doesn't he? They rejected 120 million. That was when I went and decided, you know what? I don't need a winger. I'll go get De Volder instead. It is also actually worth noting, you might be sat there thinking, Jack, where is Twardzik? Where is he? But I loaned him out. We've set him free for a short while. He's going to go and play for Liverpool. He's been playing on the regular for them at 19 years old to play every single game for a relatively good Liverpool side with relatively good facilities. Feels pretty good for his development. Anyway, with that win, we have gone top of the league, although it is the earlier games of the day. It's still very early on in the season, so we're not going to get too carried away, but we are now going to go away and come back for a game against Bayern. It's a big one. Of course, they have got... I mean, he's not injured, is he? He's not played their last game. Where is he? Boyer, he's playing up top for them. I mean, well, I never. Maybe I've been using him wrong this whole time. If he scores against us, I'm going to be livid. Let's go and see how he does, shall we? Okay, guys, game number 2 against Bayern Munich in the Champions League. This is only, I think, our second game in the group stage, so it's still very early days. But given our group, we're drawn with Sociedad and Basel. It's very likely that whoever wins this first game is going to be the first team in this group to secure a spot in the knockout round, which of course is the aim. It is worth noting with Bayern Munich, we talked about the fact they've got Boyer up front. They've also got Frank Lampard as their manager, who I feel like between this year and last year's Park to Prem has almost become a little nemesis of mine in Football Manager. So we're going to be looking to get one over on him today. And just one other thing that I want to talk about is the goalkeeper dilemma, because I nearly sold Toby before the transfer window closed, except he rejected all the possible transfers that happened. He was adamant he wanted to stay at the club. So he's still here, but... well, he's played some games when Dyer got injured. I'm trying to give Hamada more matches. I think Hamada might be better than Toby. I don't even know if that's a controversial take at this point. I feel like Toby needs to leave. He's unhappy because he feels forced out of the club. I feel like he's going to start crying when he realises there is no first-team football to be got here. I'd be interested to know how much you would sell Toby for. I remain adamant that at £11.5 million, he was a tremendous bargain of a player. Of course, 20 clean sheets last season was phenomenal, and I've replaced him with Danny Dyer. Make of that what you will. Is there any loyalty left in football? Perhaps not. Hamada Hamada's good. Hamada's very, very good. I'd more than happily play Hamada, except in this game here, where, well, today we're going to go with the exact same team that took on Man City. You can see here, Erk still slowly working his way back to full fitness. A few possible changes I could make. Tudor is a player who's been very, very impressive since he started playing for us. You can see a goal and 2 assists in our previous Champions League group stage game. Elsewhere as well, Van Dijk. I feel like Van Dijk doesn't get enough credit for us because I bring him in a whole host of positions. You can see this year, when Erk got injured, playing out on the left-hand side, he put in some pretty decent performances there. So, you know what? Maybe, I was going to say maybe I'll start him there. That's going too far. But you know what? Maybe he'll make that move and come on off the bench to play out on the left-hand side. Of course, it's worth mentioning that with De Volder coming in, Ronaldo Ramirez is on the bench. But as far as options on the bench go, he's pretty blooming good, if I might say so myself. Either way, shall we get into this game? It is, well, the second game of the group stage. I'm hoping for a good performance. Why are there no green arrows on our team? Oh, wait, we signed new players and Matty's come in. I'm just used to seeing green lines between all the players. It's very satisfying, isn't it, when all your players have links to one another? Either way, let's see if we can put in a good performance here. Bayern Munich, very, very big side. Make no mistake, they are the number 2 seed in this group. I didn't actually check there if they have Boyer up front. They do. Also, worth noting, Frank Lampard, he signed Kai Havertz. He's moved him along. Of course, he was playing under Lampard at Chelsea for a number of years. For 13 million, they've signed him. He's putting some pretty scary numbers in the Bundesliga to start things off. Anyway, we've got a long throw here to kick things off. It's going to be cleared away, but only as far as Lind. Had that shot from range against Man City, which very nearly crept in. Don't mind Lind having the odd long shot. He's got it in his locker. Piotr, De Volder. Piotr with it again. To Largo. Nice build-up play here. Sampaio, lots of space ahead of him. Players queuing up in the box. No one really in support. Might be caught out of position now, the right-backers. Well, Bayern Munich bring it on the counter. Where is Boyer? There he is. I'll keep him clicked and highlighted. So when he scores against me, you can anticipate the heartbreak in my voice. Erk dispossessed, but it comes to Gonzalez. Back to Lin now. Largo. Been a bit quiet to start this year, Largo, compared to previous years, but of course he is tremendous. Sampaio, Largo. Oh my word, what is happening? It's in the back of the net. Gonzalez has scored. Sampaio's got the assist. For a second, I had convinced myself that Largo was the man who'd scored it there. That right on cue, as I criticised him, he'd found the back of the net. But no, you can see here a bit of ping-pong action in the box again. I feel like we work the ball really nicely and then stuff goes into the box and it just becomes like a physics simulator. It's like a footballing snow globe, our attacks at the moment. We get it in the penalty area, then we just give it a big shake and see where the ball ends up. On that occasion, it's found the back of the net. Erk inside. Piotr. Oh my word, what a header there. Erk with the assist. And for a man who you could argue is the weak link, despite repping the captain armband and being a player who's been with us since our championship days, one of the players we signed in our very first season in charge, he is still pretty good, isn't he, Piotr? He's still pretty good. 2 goals up after 10 minutes. If we can perform like this against the big dogs when it comes to the knockout stages, I will be a very, very happy bunny. We have looked really, really good here thus far, although still plenty of the game left to be played, and well, they're on the attack here. Dyer makes a big save down to his left. These are the games where Dyer is going to prove whether or not it's wise to spend 155 million on a goalkeeper. It was a good stop for him there, to be fair, and well, we're going to deal with the corner as well. Although a 34-year-old Kai Havertz winning a foot race with De Volder does fill me with a little bit of concern. Of course, De Volder playing for Chelsea can probably be mates with Kai. I'm sure they'll exchange shirts after the game. Whilst Frank Lampard looks on with a tear in his eye, thinking about his old Chelsea team. Is this a really long highlight, or are we wasting my time, Football Manager? What is happening here? My time has been wasted. Thank you, Football Manager. I needed to see that shot, cross, thing, whatever that was. I'm not entirely sure, I'll be honest. Anyway, coming up to half an hour gone, 2 goals up. Of course, those 2 goals inside the first 10 minutes. I feel like they've set us on our merry way. I was about to get ready to do a shout and then a highlight begun. So that football manager saw me start to mouse over the shout button and thought, not right yet. Stop. We're going to show you something that's going to change your mind forever. If we concede here, might be a little bit more of an angry shout than the one I was going to give. Mas with the ball here. Plays it forward to Telles Magno, the Brazilian. Options queuing up in the middle. One is Boyer. He nods it down, and, well, it's fallen to Babaye, who tucks into the bottom corner and pretends to be a chicken with his celebration. Not sure I'm a fan of that celebration. You may have noticed. Boyer with the assist. And I'm going to get shouty. I'm going to get angry. I'm going to get mean. Babaye. Nice catchy name to be able to shout out loudly. Tucks into the bottom corner. Gives me some chicken arms there. Did you see that? Never seen an actual footballer do that celebration. By the way, Football Manager developers, I know some of you might be listening. I'm available for mocap if we need it. I'll give you some better celebrations. I can dab. I will not dab for a celebration in Football Manager. Just a side note, but for other dance moves and stuff. Speaking of dance moves and stuff, Piotr, bust some moves, my friends. Feel free to celebrate. He's just scored another header. And it's 3-1 at half-time, and Piotr, a man who I feel like gets unfair stick from the comment section. I like to shield him from you mean people. He's got 2 here. Show our captain some respect. You can't just replace him. It's not like Captain America. Lind, shot blocked, falls away to Babaye, bringing the ball forward. If they score here to make it 3-2, I mean, he's killed a man there, and I'm totally okay with it. Excellent work, Piotr. Now we get it away. The refs played an advantage. Let's use it to our advantage. Gonzalez down to Largo. Bayern are really not committing their wing-backs up the pitch here. They are keeping a back four firmly planted at the back. They are wary of the counter. It's going to take some nice build-up play from us, I feel like, to break them down. Maybe it's going to come here. Sampaio, options inside. He falls over. We're going to VAR. I think we're about to get given a penalty by VAR as well. Largo, warm up your shooting boot. If we make it 4-1, I will breathe a big sigh of relief and relax. What's happening? Is it it's Largo? Of course it's Largo. Don't let me down, Largo. Remind me in the comments section in case I forget to change my penalty taker. Please remind me. He's never taking another penalty. Never. I don't even know. Are we cursed? I feel like I'm pretty unlucky. I feel like in my other save games, I score all the penalties. Anyway, we've still got chances. Look, we're 3-1 up. Relax, Jack. I'm miffed, everyone. I am miffed. Matty, finish that. Left back. I don't know. He's wandered a long way up there as Matty. Doesn't score many goals for us. That's his first ever goal. Matty, how is that your first ever goal for us? You've been here years, son. To be fair, we just kind of pigeonholed him as a left back / centre mid. Not entirely sure why he's ended up that high up the pitch, but you know what, Matty, you're more than welcome to go that high up the pitch again, my friend. How long has Matty been at the club? I'm very curious now. You've been at the club 4 years. That's his first goal. I mean, I'm very, very, very proud of you. Right, let's make some changes here. Devolder's not had the greatest of games, so I'm going to bring in Ramirez, and with that Ramirez change, I'm going to change the roles back. I know someone's going to ask, Jack, why do you not just set up the personalised roles on the players? It's a great question. I don't actually have a legitimate answer to explain to you. I just like to make things difficult for myself, apparently. Mass, now with the ball. Inside to Faze. Now with Burke. I mean, look, we're 4-1 up. I could relax. But still lots of time left in this game. If they get one here for Babaye, we panic. We don't panic, though, because Danny Dyer makes the stop. Thank you, Danny boy. Make the subs. Let's get a bit shouty. We've been the better team here. It's been another really dominant display. I feel like at this point, Frank Lampard is starting to hate us. Not only have we ruined his Chelsea legacy by getting him sacked after we won the league, we're now taking him on here and, well, somewhat embarrassing Bayern Munich at the moment. With 20 minutes left, might look to make another sub in a second. I'm thinking bit tired, might need to come off as Danny Dyer makes another save, everyone. The man, he's just a beast between the sticks. Corner whipped in. Headed away by Lind. Boyer was under it, our former man, but Lind, who, I'm going to be honest, he's not the most astute player in the air, just says absolutely not. Gets it away from danger. And it's another long pointless end to the highlight, Football Magi. Don't need to show me those. They make me panic. Sampaio. Options in the middle. Whips it. Poyana's. It's 5-1. I'll tell you what, we're blooming good, everyone. We're blooming good, aren't we? 15 minutes left. 5-1 up. I'm having a party tonight. I don't care what anyone says. This is a team that looks like it means business in the Champions League. What kind of business, you might ask? I don't know. I'm also going to make one last sub here. I'm going to bring in Smith for Poyana. Out on the right-hand side. I'm sorry, Adrian Smith. I know you're left-footed. You're playing as a winger on attack because it's worked really well for us this year, and I don't like change. Anyway, ball whipped in. I thought for a second the pigeon was going to score. Ricky Picky heads over. Was Smith's ball into the box as well. And, well, that may be the only contribution in this game that we witness from Smith in a highlight, because here it's going to finish 5-1. Sampaio, our best performer at right back. That's a little unusual, but I'm not going to complain one little bit. We go top of the group, and, well, another home win. We have a little bit of a fortress built here, I feel like, at the City ground at this point. I'm a little bit nervous for when we move away in a few years, that kind of fort that we built might just be left in ruins as we move somewhere new. But no, Sampaio, 2 assists to his name. He looked absolutely phenomenal. And I don't know about you, 2 really, really impressive results. Would have liked maybe a clean sheet in the game against Bayern, but when you score 5 goals, it's a bit difficult to complain, isn't it? Anyway, looking ahead to games we've got coming up, whilst Tottenham have started the season well, I'm going to be honest, I anticipate them to fade off. I don't think they've had the most challenging of starts to the year just yet. You can see here, the next month for them is going to be the real test, as they've got ourselves and Man United, who themselves have not had the greatest start to the year, but are only 1 point behind us. Elsewhere, of course, we've already played Villa, Arsenal down in 5th, another team going okay. In terms of when we're going to be back next time, not entirely sure just yet. We may come back in a little while. I may go forward all the way to, I was going to say December. That's a long, long way away, isn't it, that Manchester United game? I'm not sure. I think I'll pick out a game somewhere in the middle that tickles my fancy. If there's a game that you like the look of, feel free to scream it from the rooftops, or alternatively, you can just scroll down and leave it in the comments so your neighbours don't think you're weird. Yeah, let me know what game you would like to see tomorrow. It may be that we do the game against Wolves or something, who right now are in 14th. It's like they relied on Danny Dyer. And without him, they're not the team predicted to finish 7th. They're just really, really average. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up everything from me today. I hope you've enjoyed 2 fantastic results. I am a happy bunny. Slightly longer episode today. If you got to the end of the video, make sure to drop a like on it. Lets me know that you want to see more of these longer ones down the line. And well, until next time, it is me, Jack. I am done rambling now. I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.